What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of D's Corner. We have some more trades to talk about. These are trades that I feel make the most sense for the player, make the most sense for both teams involved. We've already seen a lot of trades as the NFL offseason is underway. We have free agency is right around the corner. Then the draft after that, we've already seen some teams making some moves, making some cap space available with either releases or trades. We've seen some players like Kyler Murray wasn't able to find a trade partner, informed that he'll be released. Stephon Diggs was also released. The Bills just released Teron Johnson. I think he's been there for about 8 years. So there's teams making some moves and making some space to try to get ready to make a run at some of these big time free agents come Monday. But before that, I have a few trades here that I want to talk about. We've already seen the Bears make some trades. They traded DJ Moore and a 5th-round pick to the Bills for a 2nd-round pick. The Rams, they traded the 29th overall pick, a 5th and a 6th this year, along with a 3rd next year for all-pro corner Trent McDuffie of the Kansas City Chiefs. The Titans traded the D-tackle T'Vondre Sweat to the Jets for edge defender Jermaine Johnson. And then we had the Texans make 2 trades involving their starting offensive line, sending Titus Howard to the Browns for a 5th. Howard has played both guard positions and right tackle. So the Browns, all of their starting offensive linemen are now free agents. So they're going to have to try to beef that area up, especially in free agency. So they started with Howard. And then you had the Lions sent David Montgomery to the Texans for Juice Scruggs and I think a 5th and a 6th, a 4th and a 7th. I'm sorry. So before free agency begins Monday, I have a few trades that I want to pitch to you. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know at the bottom which trades you think work, which trades you think make sense, and what trades you have in mind. But first up, I have the Bears. They have 3 picks now in the top 60. They could package those picks together with a player like running back DeAndre Swift and make a real move for Max Crosby. You would be pairing Max Crosby with Montez Sweat and Austin Booker. You're really going to beef up that defensive front with the pass rush and your run stoppage. They did release linebacker Tremaine Edmonds, but they do have a good amount of picks. They have a good amount of cap space. You still have your quarterback who's on a rookie deal. But if you pair Crosby with Montez Sweat, Austin Booker, you still have the tough D tackles, the young D tackles. So you have a good, tough pass rush, a good, tough front 7. That's going to help Jalen Johnson and them guys on that back end. This move just makes too much sense for the Bears. Also makes a ton of sense for the Raiders. You're doing the right thing by a player who has been embodying what it is to be a Raider. Send him somewhere that's competitive, where he's able to play, where he's able to actually sniff and get to the playoffs potentially. Plus, you're bringing in a running back when your new head coach, Clint Kubiak's already stated he wants to go with a running back by committee. DeAndre Swift is a really good, talented back. He's used to being a back by committee with his time in Philly, his time with Detroit, and now his time with Chicago. Pairing him and Ashton Jeanty, you're going to be drafting Fernando Mendoza. Does he sit or does he not? You just released Geno Smith. This is a move that can help Clint start getting what he needs going with a tough running game. They're going to need offensive linemen. They have Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer who could possibly be traded, but you do already have some things going for you on offense. Go ahead and max out what you can get from Max Crosby. Send him to a place where he can compete and where he has the potential to go. And actually, he could possibly be the catalyst that gets them over the hump and further into the playoffs and potentially into the Super Bowl again. Another trade for me that just makes a ton of sense would be the Chargers making a run at A.J. Brown. AJ and the Eagles, it just seems like it needs to be a fresh start for both parties. Him reading the book, I know they won a Super Bowl that year. I don't think that AJ Brown has lost a step or anything like that, even though he is 29, I believe. But you got to start looking at the quarterback situation. Yes, it could have been the offensive play call, but does AJ want to go through another young offensive play caller who's even younger than the previous guy, who's never done it before? He did say he does want to get AJ active and everything, but I think it would be a perfect pick for the Chargers to send maybe the 22nd pick this year, possibly a pick or two next year, maybe even adding wide receiver Quentin Johnson to the package to go and get A.J. Brown. That way the Eagles still now have a deep threat with Quentin Johnson. But now Justin Herbert has a true number one wide receiver. They have invested in Trey Harris and Ladd McConkey through the draft and the few previous years, but he has not had him a true number one. And now having a veteran like A.J. Brown, who's going to give you everything that he has, he's easily going to have 100 targets if this trade happens, and he's going to be right back into Pro Bowl, All-Pro caliber, I truly believe, with a quarterback like Justin Herbert. You still have the Chiefs, who, yes, they missed the playoffs with Pat coming off of injury, but the Raiders, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Broncos, the Raiders are the Raiders, but the Broncos did make the playoffs. They were the number one seed. So you do want to go out there and you want to try to do everything that you can to prevent that from happening. Another move, this one might be out of left field, but it makes a ton of sense to me, and it would be the Kansas City Chiefs making a run at safety Budda Baker from the Cardinals. He has 2 years left on this deal. How many rebuilds does he have to be forced to go through? It seems like every couple of years that he's been in the league, it's been a new coach or a new GM or both. It's just it was a couple years ago he wanted to get out. I can't remember if he requested a trade or not, but now he's getting up there in age. I'm sure he just wants to win. He's already got his bag. The Chiefs, they have 9 draft picks this year. They have 8 picks next year, and they're going to have holes on this defense, especially after trading away Trent McDuffie. But the draft capital that they did bring back, they wouldn't even have to really use a lot of it, or maybe any of it. I think a third this year and a 7th next year could possibly get Budda from the Cardinals. But this would give Spags a great move player into a new regime of his defense heading forward. Pat coming off an injury, you still have Travis Kelce aging. Supposedly he should be back. Nothing is set in stone just yet. But this is a draft now that you, like I said, you have 9 picks. You're able to go and add players here, add players there. Josh Simmons probably going to be on the right side after the Jawaan Taylor release. The offense should be squared away, but the defense, you have got to get this defense going, and they do need a running back. But if you add Budda Baker, he will help you a lot. He will help ease in the transition of whatever young corners that you're going to have. They don't have a ton of cap space. They could pick, and with that first pick, I think they could go after Mansour Delaney, the corner from LSU, to replace Trent McDuffie. But like I said, having Budda Baker as that back end, the communicator and everything, the veteran presence, he's great in the run, great against the pass. He's a for sure tackler. I think it makes too much sense in Spags' defense. Another trade that I could see happening if the Patriots miss out on A.J. Brown, going and getting Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think it would cost them anything crazy draft capital wise. He kind of fell out of favor a little bit in Jacksonville. They have Jacoby Myers now along with Travis Hunter. Said that Travis will probably be playing mainly defense this year. We'll see how that goes as he's returning from injury. But Drake May is a great deep ball thrower. This would open up that Patriot offense after releasing Stephon Diggs as well. You still have some players, but given a player or a quarterback like Drake May, who is, like I said, is a really good deep ball thrower, a player like Brian Thomas Jr., who has 4.3 speed, who's a big body wide receiver, an LSU product, giving him a chance to get to a coach like Mike Vrabel, who's a player's coach, who's done this before, who can really get what he needs out of his guys. I think this would just make so much sense going out and getting a player like Brian Thomas Jr. You have 11 picks this year, and they still have a ton of money. So if you get Brian, you can also go in free agency and get a player like Mike Evans or another wide receiver or pass catcher for Drake May. This last one, I don't foresee happening, only because this team is extremely stubborn when it comes to their great players. But this one would make a ton of sense for both teams and the player, and that would be Myles Garrett being traded to the New England Patriots. I just said the Patriots have a lot of money, and they have 11 draft picks. The Browns have got to get some cap space. They did just redo Deshaun Watson's deal again, which is crazy that he is still on this team because of the stupid contract that was given to him with all the legal stuff that he had going on. You're going to have a ton of holes on this team. Your offensive line, like I stated, all 5 players are hitting free agency. Just like Budda Baker, how many rebuilds is Myles Garrett going to be forced to go through? Just like with Joe Thomas, you have a Hall of Fame player playing every season at a Hall of Fame level. He's the reigning defensive player of the year. To me, that just means right now you have to strike with Myles Garrett while the iron is hot. He is getting up there in age, but he's the reigning defensive player of the year. Sending him to a team like New England could possibly get you a first this year and a first next year. You could probably get a first, a second this year, and a first and second next year, and then some, with how good of a player Myles Garrett truly is. This would be a perfect pairing, getting a player like Myles, pairing him up with Mike Vrabel on a team who just fell short in the Super Bowl. The only true competition that they're going to have in the AFC East is the Buffalo Bills. We don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. We don't know what the Jets are going to do. You saw what the Bills have just done by trading for DJ Moore. You get a player like Myles who can disrupt that offensive line and get after Josh Allen and get him on the ground and cause havoc. That helps players like Anthony Gonzalez on that back end. That helps those young linebackers, and it helps everybody else on that team be great. Myles is really going to boost this defense's mentality, this defense's aggression, this defense's ability to jump quick routes, because you're going to want to get that ball out of the quarterback's hand. With a player like Myles, it's going to impact the checks at the line of scrimmage. I think it was the Steelers. Myles was just bouncing left and right. They had to delay a game because they were sending so many blockers at Myles Garrett. This would be a great pick. This would be huge breaking news all across the sports media world. But I don't see it happen because the Browns are so damn stubborn. That's all I got today, guys. Let me know which trade you like. Don't forget to check out my other videos. Subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, man. I appreciate it. I should be able to be more consistent this year. I don't have to do any coaching this year, so I'm back in full effect. D's Corner.